And here we go live. Here we go. Share. Done. Shoot. See, I was trying to share things out. I can't share poop. That'll do. Hello, darling. Yeah, you just come up when you're still drying your hair. Oh, bless your heart, sweetheart. Do you like my background? Look, I'm where I want to be, on the beach. Oh, it's where I want to be. I'm on the beach. Good evening, Raven Soul. How are we doing? It's just where I want to be. I don't want to work tomorrow. I want to go beach. Hi, Moonwater. How are you doing, sweetie? How are you, Celine? How are we doing, my love? Promised I would go live tonight. Here I am. It's juice before TikTok starts going, It's juice. I'm good, sweetheart. Absolutely shattered. Hair's in a scrubby ponytail, as you can see, a wee scrubby ponytail. Zaf's going to be coming up very shortly. She's just drying her hair. Yes, I haven't washed mine yet. I haven't been for my shower, but it's in a wee teeny ponytail just to keep it out of my face. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but it has been like Satan's butt crack today. Not Satan's armpit, his butt crack. It's been absolutely horrid. Zaf. That's what we call her. Z-A-P-H. And I'm answering for her and she should be answering herself, so, But, yeah. That's what we call her. Oh, holy Zafa. She's going to come into the box and go, oi, you. She'll come up in that box and crucify me. Watch TikTok go. Are you... Okay, I will. It'll be... TikTok will be like, are you drinking alcohol? No, I am drinking juice, dear. I'm drinking juice. Red Bull, but it's juice. So tonight we are going to have a question and answers session. So you can ask the Scottish witches when we get more of them. Ask us questions. Pick our brains and ask questions, and I want a 50k live. Zaf got a 50k live last night, so hopefully I get a 50k live. Hi Anthony, good evening. How you doing? Eagle Eye, hello. Everybody is welcome. As long as they are not going to preach. So, no preaching. Don't tell me that Jesus loves me because I don't want him to know where I am because I owe him money. Honest to God, I owe him man. Honest to the gods, I owe that man money. So, he's been after me for years. Hi, Looneybots. How we doing? Hands up. Good girl. Got ya. Hello, darling. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, it took me a wee bit longer to dry my hair than I thought because I'm trying to learn how to style it because obviously it's been cut in half, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to work out how best to style it, and it took me a wee bit longer than I anticipated. I do apologise.
It's
However,
quite all right, my darling.
I am here.
You are here. You're always welcome here.
Yeah.
Whenever anyone says Jesus loves you, I reply with Mary Magdalene loves me more.
Do you have any topics of conversation for this evening?
I put it up as a Q&A.
Ah, okay.
I just put Witchy Q A. Looney, you want to come up and have a natter? See how you're getting on, darling. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. How do you think I feel, mate? I've just sat with a hairdryer on for like 40 minutes.
Aye. You have my sympathies because it's still absolutely, I don't know what.
4 fucking candles on the go.
Best protection spell.
It's funny that I'm doing 2 just now.
Funny that. Funny I'm going foraging this week for stuff.
More things just now.
Oh, Looney, what's up, darling?
Yeah.
So, best protection spell.
First off, I absolutely recommend you scrub your house from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I've not been feeling very good lately. You've been feeling attacked. I would then put yourself into a salt water bath, or make yourself a salt water scrub for in the shower. So I would absolutely be reinforcing any kind of wards and protections that you have up. I would look at your boundaries. Are your boundaries secure? If not, get them done. Why are you not coming up? My goodness, women. It's almost like you have a child that's running around in the background.
I've got seagulls and dogs.
And then you can even, do you know what, Minwater, you can even do yourself a simple little candle spell, darling, because sometimes you just need to sit with it. You know what I mean? And I've got 2 running now, so I have. There's loads of things. The thing is, right, is people don't agree with me when I say this, and I absolutely get it, each to their own. But every single herb and plant that there ever was can be a protective herb and plant. Every single one of them. All of the correspondences that we've attached to them can be used to protect that particular thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So even if you've got fucking daisies, you can use that to protect your joy. You know what I mean? Your ambition, your courage, your love, your happiness. So it's just work with what you've got and let your intuition guide you.
I'm trying to work out how to switch my camera off so I can use that.
Like
Oh, thank you, Celine. Thank you, honey.
I like that background.
Oh, spooky. Thank you, Looney. Thank you, darling. My one is all of the above, and I put eggshells around my property.
Yeah, you can do, let's get a bit deeper, right? Because that's fucking generic bullshit, right?
It is generic.
You could read that absolutely fucking anywhere. Why don't you stack stones in the corners of your property? That creates an instant boundary. You don't even need to stack stones. You can bury stones that you've put through fucking some kind of protection ritual, and you can use them to ward your space, right? How about iron spikes in your 4 corners? That'll protect your boundaries, and it will also protect you. You know what I mean? Things like that.
There's iron spikes, the railway spikes that they make the railways.
Yeah. Even if you just fucking get some vinegar, get some bicarbonate of soda, get some salt, get some nails, fuck the nails into that wee concoction and let that rust your nails. The rust from your nails, if you bury that or bury the nails once you've rusted them, will also act as a protective, baneful ward on your boundaries.
plants as well.
If you don't have it, make it. Right, well,
Yeah.
for that, I recommend a pig's heart and a rusty spike or iron spike, and push it ferociously through the pig heart. I absolutely 100% 10 out of 10 recommend for a PDF.
Absolutely.
Best form of protection is by them not existing anymore.
The best form of defence is a good offence.
With the intention to obviously end that cycle. Do you know what I'm saying, Moonwater? You know?
I know. Absolutely.
Have you considered you know how the pickled onions you get in the jars? Have you considered turning them into an effigy of eyes of the PDF and doing the same with the nails, hammering nails through the pickled onions? Have you considered doing that?
What's that? That's a good one.
Well, I'm not just a fucking basic ass bitch witch, you know?
You're not just a pretty face.
That's a me one. That's one of mine. That's a personal working.
Yeah.
That's why you probably haven't heard of it, because it's all fucking mine. Gherkins would do if you're going to attack his undercarriage. Absolutely.
I would do the pickled onions on the gherkins.
You can do it, yep. You could also, to go along with your delicious meal of gherkins, sweetheart, you could make yourself some meatballs to represent the full intactness. You know? Meat and two veg, quite literally, you know what I'm saying?
A whole pickled spread, aye.
That's a lovely meal plan that you have there, if that is the road that you choose to go down. You could also get yourself an absolute delicacy out of the butcher. You could get yourself a beef heart, and you could mimic one of my workings. It's on my page, where I took the beef heart out into the forest and cooked a lovely heart meal, and then smoked it over a fire with fish hooks so that it was hanging on the tree, and just kind of leave it. You could absolutely do that if that is something that you decided to do.
Leave it for the bugs and the birds.
Yeah, just let it smoke and preserve itself, you know? Let it rot and decay.
Happy Sunday, darling. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just having a lazy one. Done very little, really.
You could also put spikes, or see what the legalities are for putting spikes on the top of your fence. To prevent any hands from leaning on the fence to better their view. So you could. I would also consider gazebos to offer safe coverage for the little one.
Yep.
Particularly on their side of the fence. Maybe even get yourself a nice wee swing with a canopy, you know, so that you can do that kind of stuff.
And she just got a gazebo today.
You could, depending on how big your gazebo is, you could get several gazebos if necessary. It's very hot, and children need a shaded place to play in this weather, you know.
Yeah. Claire's asking, what's the feeling on crossroad dirt or graveyard dirt?
Absolutely, for this type of thing, absolutely.
I just scroll back to the chat to see what we're talking about, and
Yeah, so we're talking in codes, so keep
yeah,
it,
of course.
yeah, keep it food related if possible.
Hi Sean, how we doing?
Sean, sweetheart, welcome in.
Always be careful though where you get your graveyard dirt from. Philip, Felicia.
Could build a little matchstick house to resemble that tenancy, and you could put it on a fire at Samhain in front of your ancestors and the spirits of the land. You can absolutely do that.
Nice one, Celine.
It doesn't need to be matchsticks either. It could be lollipop sticks that the little one has used through the summer, so that the intention is so you build his house out of the lollipop sticks that she has ate and gift that to the ancestors with the intention that they are to absolutely do whatever it is that they need to do within their capabilities to protect her from him. You can do that. You're very welcome in water.
Very welcome, sweetheart. They're ready. Zaf is very knowledgeable.
Yes,
Sweetheart, for this kind of stuff, it's not books you need, it's invention.
Yeah.
You need invention. You need to come up with your own stuff. So you do like the lollipop stick thing, that's something that's just came to me. And what that does is that it binds her, it's her tag lock, so it will act as a form of protection for her because it's her ancestors. And it will link, so if he's doing any of this stuff with any intention to harm, it will automatically kick in to protect her with that intention. Specifically that burn the fucking house down. You know what I'm saying? So that's a very good one given the situation that you have. I'm sorry that you're having to go through that, Minwater. To be fair, when I come back, message me on Sunday. That is something that I would absolutely loan my services to for free, hands down. I don't charge for that kind of work, not against PDFs, hands down. Obviously, is it a confirmed PDF? Is there a record there? Is there a register? Or is it a speculated PDF?
Claire, we've got to protect the wee ones.
Kids is not something I play with.
No. Looney, absolutely do this. He's never
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's it. Fucking hit me up on Sunday, Minwater. Hit me up on Sunday.
Sorry. I just had a visceral reaction to that.
Absolutely, Harry. Like, how else are we meant to react? It enrages me. So just message me on Sunday, sweetheart, and I'll get that done for you. And then obviously anything else that you do on top of that, I'll also lay down protections as well for your little one. I'll give you the full fucking. I'll do the full hog in because I don't do that shit. I don't fucking.
When it comes to this kind of thing, don't play about.
I need a minute. I'm getting angry.
Hey, Phil.
Hi.
Hi, darling. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm just having a pretty chill day here.
Hi, Pepper Pew.
Yeah, no, it's my guts have been warring with me most of the morning.
I wasn't meaning that bit, but yeah, you've been doing your best Johnny Cash impression.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm not having that spicy pad thai again.
Oh, delicious. Lizzie.
Hey, you coming up, Lizzie, babe?
Lizzie.
Spooky knows what I'm talking about.
Badger. Oh yeah, tell me.
So I went out and the neighbours were all sat out and they were telling me that in all the gardens, because they're all like the woodland, there's a family of badgers, a family of foxes, there's parakeets, there's squirrels, there's magpies, crows, and all the little birds. There's everything I would ever want.
So do we just change your name to Snow White, or?
Yes, we do.
Just make sure you sing to the birds every time you enter the forest there so they know you're coming.
They'll leave me. If I sing to them, they'll leave me. I'm not bad at singing.
If you sing to them, they'll do anything you want if you're Snow White.
I'll whistle. That will do.
Oh,
Back in
don't
that-
tell TikTok that. Don't tell Witch Talk that you're in the woods whistling. Don't do that.
They'll have kittens.
I whistle to the birds all the time. I make their calls and they call back. It's fine.
Hi, Looney Bats. How are you doing, sweetheart?
How do you know it's them that are calling back, though? Some might say.
It might be me, but I'm willing to take the risk.
That's a good witch.
Ooh, shiny.
We take the risks on this side of Witch Talk.
Absolutely. We do it,
How
so
like
you
it?
have to.
Except with bluebells. That is
Yeah.
not
The bluebells. Looney Bats, how's your wee one?
She's doing good. She's feeling good. She hasn't had any nightmares. She's slept well for 2 nights now.
Yay! Sorry, I'm doing a victory dance over here and you can't see it, so you're just going to have to imagine it.
Is it like us dancing earlier on?
Yes.
Okay.
She watched me while I did it and kept asking questions, and I tried to explain it the best I could. But she wanted me to tell you all thank you.
Oh, bless her.
You're very welcome. I'll do anything for kids. I will do anything for kids, you know what I mean? So I'm glad she's feeling better and that she's able to get some rest, because it's never easy, you know what I mean?
You said earlier something about, the PF thingies. Is it okay if I message you, because I know someone who's hurt not only my little brother but my nephew, and he did it when he was 17. So as soon as he turned 18, like he's did it somehow.
Is this a historical case? Is there, without being rude, is it a historical case? Is there immediate danger is there a child involved just now?
Right now he's on probation, but my sister said that she's caught him on apps and things, like it says specifically in his probation he can't be on Snapchat, and he's on Snapchat.
Okay. What I'll do with you, Lynette, right, is instead of me doing it for you, I will show you how to do it yourself.
Yes, and that's what I was going to ask, if you could message
Just
you and
totally
ask.
fucking equip you. Absolutely.
I know who he is, and I'm not gonna ask anyone else to do it for me, because like I knew he was dangerous, and I tried to tell people, but nobody listened, and I feel like it's my responsibility to try to do something about it, and it works, and I'm gonna put as much faith in it as I can, because the person who did it is my brother, and he's always been a bad egg. And I don't want him to hurt more people, because he's hurt more than just my little brother and my nephew.
Are you okay there, Lynette? I'm asking because talking about these things can be quite emotional. Are you okay?
I'm okay. I just wanted to make sure that it was okay to message you about that, because I know that can be a...
Sweetheart, yes, that's fine. You message me, darling. You're good.
Okay. All right, I'll hop down then and let you all finish your conversations. And
You don't need to go with the
You don't need to go.
I don't need to go?
No,
You just got here.
you just got here. Yeah, stay in.
Not any family now,
Why
so
would you have to
fuck
go?
Once you're adopted by the Scottish Witches, that's it.
that.
It's true.
Philip's been trying to get away for 4 years now.
It's a very. I'm already feeling the tight embrace of Scotland's witches, and I'm not complaining about it.
That's because we love you.
I've read a bunch of books, and I've studied what I can from books, and I've done a little bit of a few things. But it's hard for me to, because I don't believe in deities.
You don't have to. Easy as.
If I'm an atheist witch.
There's lots
That's
of
absolutely fine.
lots of them.
Do you believe in your ancestors?
Yes.
There you go. I don't. I believe that the deities, there are deities. Okay, I believe that there are gods and goddesses.
Mhm.
I don't currently work with any, but I firmly believe in my ancestors
Mm-hmm.
and my bloodline. And I keep meeting the same one. He's a bit belligerent. Oh
Also,
yeah.
Don't tell him that. You'll get concussion.
that's that's why I believe in ancestors, because I've had multiple experiences where this same thing keeps reaching out to me, and he doesn't say anything, but I feel like I'm related to him, and he keeps watching. He just watches. And
Yes.
I've tried to use cards, tarot cards, just try to communicate, and whenever I do, it's always good advice. So I don't know what it is. My brain struggles with it a lot because part of me believes it, another part of me believes that it's just that it doesn't make logical sense. But I can't rely on logic all the time because life's illogical.
Yes.
If it brings you comfort, even if it's, say, for example, in all our imaginations, then it's doing no harm. It's good. Just do what it feels comfortable for you, and don't listen to people who are like naysayers.
Yeah.
In fact, hold on. Moonwater, just so you know, sweetheart, I sell a Scottish Baneful box that would be, was it Moonwater? That would be absolutely up your street for exactly what it is that you're looking for, darling. Uh-huh. I saw it. Just pointing that out, babe. Just pointing that out.
Ooh.
I just
Yeah.
made some strawberry moon water from the strawberry moon recently. I got a bunch of bottles and I boiled them and I cleaned them out and I made strawberry moon water and I gave it to a friend because she's a practicing witch.
So, Moonwater, just so you know, sweetheart, obviously I'm away this week, right? So I won't be able to post your order until next Monday. So, like, you didn't need to worry about ordering tomorrow, you know what I mean? But if you're, because it won't be posted for a week, darling. Because I'm not going to be here. Yeah, okay. Well, as long as you're all right with that, then that's fine, sweetheart. Sorry, Looney, I don't mean to talk over you. It's business, babe, it's business. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
how far down your path have you went, Looney? Because it sounds like you're actually, like you're really stepping into your craft here a wee bit, sweetheart. And I'm curious as to how far you've explored.
Well, I've there was a period of time where I considered myself an eclectic witch because even though and a part of me that believed in certain deities, since then I don't. But when I did, I full dived into it. I read as many books as I could. I learned how to traditionally smudge. I learned about some of the deities from my ancestors. I've done a lot of um things that don't necessarily make sense, but that I was led to do. And but at the same time, I realized that no amount of book learning can replace actual experience. So that's why I kind of wanted to hang around and learn what y'all do, so that I can maybe understand better what it is that's drawing me to this. Because it's weird. I don't believe in it, but it's drawing me at the same time.
That's how it works. So just for the panel's sake, Looney is actually Indigenous. So when she says smudge, she's talking about her actual ancestral practice.
Absolutely.
Just so that you are all aware before everyone's like, you can't do that. She can. So I think that's a really good idea. There are loads of places all over the internet, as you've seen, where they say that they're welcoming to new witches that are looking to explore those sides of themselves. But really they're not, and they don't really make a safe space for them, or the youngling will feel like they're being attacked or judged, or just not attended to the way that they need to be attended to for a newer witch. So you, as the panel's already said, you don't need to believe in deities to be a witch, darling. You don't. You can absolutely work with nature, and you already work with your ancestors. So you'll be working with the land, right? So I don't know if you've already done it, but if you haven't, I suggest that you get to know the land that you're on. And that would be through like bodies of water, the trees in your area, the plants and the herbs and stuff like that that naturally grow in your area. That would be a good place for you to start. And with you being indigenous, that also opens up so much more in your ancestral practice as well, because you are reconnecting into the land itself. Not that I'm supposing to know what it is that your ancestral practice looks like, but I do know that they are a land-based people like Scots, so we're a wee bit similar that way.
My specific ancestors were animist shaman, and they believed in the earth and were very earth centered. So maybe that's why witchcraft attracts me so much, because it is an earth centered faith
Yeah.
or practice. Sorry.
Yeah, some of it can be. The way that we practice absolutely is we are absolutely earth centered, land based witches. Like that's what we do. We follow a more traditional aspect. Although we do have nuances which are a wee bit modern or a wee bit you know what I mean, out there. But yeah, there's a big similarity there. So have you been researching and looking at any of the plants and the foliage in your local area?
Yes. I've been studying what I can online, and I ordered an well, it's not ordered yet. It's in my cart to order because I'm a little low on funds right now. But I'm ordered a bunch. I got a bunch of books, and one of them is um on native herbal um
I know what book you're
native
talking about.
herbal a native
Yeah.
herbal encyclopedia of some kind. I forget what
Yes,
it's called.
I was going to suggest that book to you because it's a really good book. Yes. Sorry, I just talked over you again, Winnie. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I really want to learn from you all. I know maybe it's kind of a complicated perspective I'm coming from, but for some reason, what you all like, my daughter slept well, has slept better than she has in a long time.
That's
So,
amazing.
and I'm not the type of person who's like, oh, I'm like I know everything, 'cause I don't. But when I see actual um results, it makes me question um and have maybe more faith in something that I can't understand.
And that's okay, sweetheart. You don't have to understand it. Like you genuinely don't. Like I don't understand my practice. I wish I did. You know what I mean? And people outside of this room would say I think I know everything. I don't. I know a lot of shit. I do know a lot of shit, but I don't know everything. And I don't know half as much about my own path as I would like to think I do. Because I just don't understand half of it. I can't sit and explain to you why I see or hear some of the things that I see and hear. I can't explain to you why I get results from my workings, just that I get results from my workings. You know what I mean? I don't understand it myself. So I can't expect a new fledgling to be able to understand it themselves. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think the thing with being a witch is every day's a school day. You
Yeah,
learn something
definitely.
every day. Don't mind my printer going in the background.
And for you, Looney, even if you don't necessarily believe in deities or anything like that, you can have faith in what you can visibly experience or sense wise, you can experience. You can have faith in nature, in the land, in it doesn't have to be a higher power. Your faith can be whatever it means to you, and if it's the land itself, that's a perfectly valid practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, despite not believing in gods, I do believe in like what some would call Mother Earth or Gaia. I do believe that there is a maternal power that holds and nurtures Earth, which
Mhm.
is, I don't believe it's a god, but I believe like it's something.
Yeah.
From one new witch to another, I would say try not to worry about what makes sense. Just worry about what you experience. and what other people have experienced through the endless time before us. Because even scientists don't always understand what they're working with. Just a little anecdotal story. When I was at university, one of my friends went in to do engineering because he wanted to be an aerospace engineer. And one of his first lectures, they pointed out that when it comes to aeroplanes, they know how to make an aeroplane work, but when written on paper, the maths doesn't make sense. They don't know why it works. They just know it works. So they know the rules and regulations that they need to put to match to make an aeroplane fly. But if they couldn't put it into practice, nobody can agree on the fact that it should work. It just does. So they know, like, don't try and worry about what you're doing making sense. It's working. Or if other people have done something that works, just have faith that it's going to work until you have reason to believe otherwise.
That is such a great way of putting it.
Mm-hmm.
And believe in yourself. Believe in you as a person, as your own entity. You know, I mean, look what's happened. You did the work, and the wee one is reaping the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
You did that.
You done that.
Not any of us. It was you that did that. So
From start to finish as well, Looney, you were the one that made the choice to come to a batshit crazy Scottish witch and ask for advice. That was a choice you made. From start to finish, you done it.
I'm not very smart person, but I do feel like I have a good instinct for people who mean well, and I do believe you all mean well.
Yeah, we're all a bit mad round here.
Aye.
And also, everybody is smart. It's just everybody has talents that they need to channel. You're good at intuitively finding out how people are and who people are, and whether they're good and whether they mean well. That's being smart.
Mm-hmm.
That's where your intelligence has been focused through your life, and that's how you channel it. Don't talk badly about yourself. You're not stupid. You're a smart person. Everybody is clever. Everyone has the same brain. We just use them differently.
Mhm.
Thank you. I didn't quite think of it that way. I just said that I've had to survive most of my life, so most of my life is just focusing on survival.
Yeah.
Well, you
We
need
can't do that. Sorry.
Sorry, darling. Today's the first time I've spoken to you, and I can tell already you have so much emotional intelligence. You know, you're very much a person that questions their own beliefs, and that's a healthy thing. Like, you are intelligent, you are smart. Don't put yourself down, darling.
Oh, Celine, I'm special. I'm window licking special.
Window licking special.
Yep, I am proper window licking special.
Hey, stop saying that, you'll get shut down.
I know, but
Fucking ableist.
Zaf is very good at shouting at me because I'll say things like, "We'll be doing something. We'll be having a natter. We'll be having a group chat," and I'll turn around and say, "Ah, you know me. I'm not always quick on the app chat, and I'm not saying I'm dim. It's just sometimes it takes a couple of tries to get it into my brain. But you know, we're all smart in different ways.
She's from a different generation. She was raised differently.
Yeah,
When I say I'm not smart, I don't necessarily think that I'm dumb or anything. I just know that with like I have multiple mental health diagnoses, and one of the side effects is I have a very bad memory, and so it's hard to retain information that I would like to retain, despite how many books I read and how much I study. There's only so far I can go.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So you might, with that, you might find that reading isn't your natural preferred form of learning.
Mhm.
Right, so there's different ways that we learn and retain information, and if you're struggling with reading, right, and retaining that information, not that you can't read, but retention is the issue. It might be that reading isn't your natural form of learning. You might be an observer. You might be someone that learns well through observation.
Yeah.
100% there, Celine. 100%.
Look at Looney. Do a wee bit. Sorry, Philip. Looney, do a wee bit of research on the different forms of learning, sweetheart. I think there's five. There's five different forms of learning, or at least there was when I was in uni, and that was like 15 years ago. You know what I mean? So, do a wee bit of research into the different forms of learning and see what one you find. Play around with them, experiment, and work out what it is that you learn best through. Because when it comes to learning a craft, you might find that you learn better by physically seeing what it is that you need to do, instead of reading a book and trying to meander your way around that. Do you know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, and I think my method of learning is action, because, or whatever, if that is a method of learning, because by doing things, because I noticed that like when I would do spell jars, and like so I would do self-love spell jars and things like that, just the action of doing it would
So you work through trial and error.
yeah.
Absolutely, that is definitely a form of learning, sweetheart.
Okay.
You learn by doing it. It's definitely, without going into personal detail, one of my kids is dyslexic, and that's how they learn. They don't learn by reading, they learn by doing.
I'm dyslexic, so that kind of makes sense. I didn't know that.
She's never been comfortable learning through reading, but show her something a couple of times and she'll pick it up.
Maybe that's watching witches on YouTube. I do watch like Green Witch and a few other different witches, and it's very calming just watching them do protection spells and things, and just watching what different people do.
You're an observational learner. That's what you are, Looney. And then you'll go away and you'll play around with it and work out what works for you. That's observational learning. I fucking knew it. See, look at that. Fucking on the ball. Sorry.
Thank you so much for being so open to teach me. I know, like, there's so much I want to learn, and I don't want to be like try to take over the live or anything. But I just really appreciate you all being very willing to teach and show me, and like, despite like, my doubts and everything, my self-doubt, like, you all been very helpful. And thank you for that.
You're good, sweetheart. I have a Facebook group. Would you like to join it?
Okay. I do believe we're connected on Discord. If you want to send it to me on there, I can.
Yeah, I'll do, sweetheart. I don't know how good I am at sending the link. Diane,
Yeah.
are you able to
Or you could just
perhaps the link for Facebook group so that I could send it to Looney on Discord, please? Because every time I try and find the link for my own Facebook group, I can't find it. Don't you laugh at me, okay?
It's real. It's real.
No, I'm laughing because I'm the same. I can never find links for things.
Same.
Okay. Paste.
No, you should never judge your own smartness on what you know. The world has conditioned us to think that our value is based on our memories and how well we can assimilate information into our brains. But realistically, people who remember facts like that, they don't necessarily have the skills to put them in action. They don't have analytical brains necessarily. They don't have problem-solving brains. They have memorizing brains, and that's a very good skill to have. Don't get me wrong, that is smart. But so is being able to look at a problem, work through it, figure out what you need to find out, figure out how to fix it. Being able to know when something isn't something you can do on your own, and being able to reach out to those people that can help you, that's a skill all in of itself that so many people do not have. And especially being in America and coming from an Indigenous background, you haven't been given anywhere near the amount of opportunities you probably should have been given. Don't judge yourself on what you don't know. Judge yourself on what you can do and what you can know and how you learn. Figure it out, like Zaffa said. I'm sure there are a million different ways that you haven't even heard about that would make you learning things so much easier, and probably even would help your kids, because these things run families, and if you can learn together, that would be great. It would be such a bonding experience for you, and something else you can just do to pass the time at the moment, you know?
I kind of have a bet with myself that my daughter's gonna end up being a pagan. She literally spent all $25 of her birthday money on a book on Greek mythology. and she has books on ancient history and so forth, and like she's really been into it because she's seen me mess around with witchcraft, and she's watched me, and then she asked me questions, and even though I don't believe in deities, I still think it's important to study the mythologies, and to be educated. And when I would tell her stories about like the different deities, like she kept on asking about Helen, and about like the Greek gods, and so I told her what I knew, and now she's getting books and studying on her own. So maybe would be a bonding experience for her and I to just study it together.
Feminine. Would you look at that?
Right, I've put the 2 links in the group chat.
Links.
Yeah, one to the group and one to your page.
What page?
Shop.
What page?
Your shop page.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Remember the one you started?
Oh, are you on Etsy or on what kind of shop do you have?
Oh, so babe, I'm on eBay, but it's eBay UK because it costs 50 quid to send like a kilogram box over to America. It's ridiculously high just now with all the tariffs and stuff. So
Oh dear.
yeah, it's so bad. I've got Americans and some Canadians all over that are wanting products from my shop, and I'm just like, this is a script. This is how much it's going to cost you. And then they go away and they look it up themselves and they're like, yeah, that's not. And I'm like, absolutely. Like, as soon as they drop, of course. But it's just too much. It's, you know what I mean? They would have to spend it doesn't matter how much they spend because it's weighted. The price goes with weight. You know what I mean? It's only going to match what it is that they're spending in the shop. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the currency change, you know, especially I know from Canadian dollars to pounds is like it's pretty much double.
Yeah.
And on top of that, having to pay, you know, I can totally understand that being like crazy.
Yeah. I would love to be able to open it up because I have so many customers that are desperate for my products over there, but it's just I can't in good conscience be like, yeah, but you're going to have to pay 50 quid on top of that, potentially 60 quid on top of that, given
Yeah.
the conversion, you know what I mean? Like, I just can't in good conscience do that, so that's just not fair. Not when the world's struggling quite the way that it is, you know? Thank you, Pigeon. I see you sneaking in.
Business, and I'll pay for all those shippings.
Oh, thank you, Pigeon. How we doing?
Right, give me a minute. I need to go get the wee man some water.
Absolutely, babe. But yeah, Looney, sweetheart, just trust yourself. Trust in your own abilities. Listen to your intuition. If your gut says, I want to use this particular plant or flower or herb or whatever for this particular working that I want to do, then there's a reason that your intuition's telling you that. And that may be your ancestors getting in there and saying, use this, use this. But yeah, don't ever worry about asking us questions.
Ask us all the questions. We love
Ask
answering.
all the questions. Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me that. I'm a person who asks a lot of questions.
Well, then I'm glad to open that door for you because we definitely love questions.
We love questions. We ask so many questions in our own little group, don't we, Phil?
Yes, we do.
We ask questions and go down rabbit holes, and we just have so much fun.
And we
I would
always
say, oh, sorry, go ahead.
somewhere.
What you saying, Phil?
We always find each other somewhere at the end of that rabbit hole, wherever it leads us.
Yeah.
I would say trust your instincts, but before you use anything, and if you're going to burn it, just double check that it doesn't give off toxic fumes.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
how to
yeah.
handle it too, because some plants are super, super poisonous even if you touch them. So, you know, it's not just like the respect and the harvesting of the plant and, you know, taking respectfully, but it's also like, don't harm yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, just make sure you're not touching anything that you shouldn't be touching without gloves and things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, always wear gloves. Take out some individual baggies that you can keep things in so that they don't contaminate each other. And then before you use them, have a little look online and see if you can identify them and check that they're not poisonous.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Are you suggesting the use of a Ziploc bag, Katie?
Sorry?
Are you suggesting using Ziploc baggies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Ziploc
use them all the time. I get the freezer bags from the
Yeah.
supermarket, and I use them all the time.
Yeah, just even if you don't want to store them in there and you want to use them, you can always rinse them out. But just if you're not sure what something is, but you're feeling drawn to it and you want to harvest some, stick it in that bag and keep it there until you know that you can touch it or you can set fire to it or whatever you want to do to it, and make sure it's not going to poison everybody in the house or give you a nasty rash or anything else.
How you doing, Evie, darling? How are you? Yeah, Claire's got a good point about making sure we're all properly fire safe, because she set fire to her own hair. I've burnt my eyebrows off.
Yeah, when you light the bay leaf, it gets kind of a poof for a split second.
Yeah. That little, if you're ever in any of the spiritual shops, sometimes near the little, like, where they have like the charcoal discs and stuff for burning loose incense and stuff, they'll sometimes have those little sets with tongs and stuff. Grab some of those and just use
Oh
those.
yeah, I use a pair of tweezers.
Yeah, or
I have a
just
pair of eyebrow tweezers that I use for that purpose specifically, because the number of times I've burnt my fingers, and of course now I get my nails done, and I've burnt the nails, and that's acrylic, and it doesn't smell nice.
Yeah, I've got one tip actually, and this is good for anybody really. If you need tools like long tweezers, things to scrape into candles or anything else like that, if you look for a supply store for students, you can get a dissection kit for medical supplies. They have everything in there you could possibly need, and they're usually not very expensive for a beginner set.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. I love dissection sets, and I haven't had one forever.
Do you know what I did when I was first starting out? Was one of my children for a while was one of my kids. It's my dyslexic one. My oldest isn't dyslexic, but my baby is. And she, at that time, was very into painting. She still loves her art. But she was going through a air drying clay phase. And we bought her all the kit, and we bought all the stuff for moulding and carving into the clay. And obviously she lost touch. She got older. And I started using the wee carving tools for the clay. I used them for carving into candles. I've also used...
Surprisingly, dissection kit and a sculpture tool kit are about 80% exactly the same.
Yeah.
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 Whittling set for my candles. However, I don't use that. I use my dragon fountain pen.
I use a porcupine quill to.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I have to go now, but thank you all so much, and I'm definitely taking everything you guys say to heart, because I really appreciate everything. And I'll be around. Maybe I'll be back on later if you're still on.
No problem, honey. Thank you for popping in. We'll see you soon.
You're very welcome, Lenny.
All right, take care.
Take care, darling.
Bye.
Goodbye.
She's such a sweetheart, isn't she?
No, she's lovely.
Yeah, like I absolutely get that, like that fear. You know what I mean? I absolutely understand that, and the questions that it raises in yourself. I get that as well. You really do have to face your own beliefs and your own ideas of self-doubt, don't you, to be able to walk the path, because it's a challenge. You can't just turn up and be like, right, okay, cool, I'm a witch. Like, you go through a whole mental process where you have to deconstruct and then reconstruct so that you can, you know what I mean? So it's always a challenge. It's always a challenge.
And I think we all go through multiple periods of that.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Yeah.
I think a lack of self-doubt leads to arrogance, though. You need that little voice. It has to stay little, but a little voice in the back of your head that says, question that. Is that true?
Yeah.
Are you right in the head right now? Is everything good? Otherwise, it can lead to all sorts of, like, a blown out of proportion ego issues, you know?
100%.
Yeah, a little bit of ego is a good thing, and having confidence is a good thing.
But it
It's
can't
when,
rule
it's when
everything.
your confidence and your ego starts writing checks that the rest of you can't cash.
Well, this is why whenever we're in Thrale's lives and people in the comments are saying that witchcraft is a religion, and I'm like, yeah, sure, it like can be when you look at things like Wicca, which is a religion with witchcraft elements to it, or other religions from around the world that incorporate witchcraft into their practices. But like the reason I don't call witchcraft a religion for myself is because my beliefs are always changing and always being questioned. And I feel like that's like the path that we walk all the time. And I think it's finding that balance in between knowing what we know and questioning what we know and having a healthy relationships with ourselves spiritually and with the spirits that we work with. Like that's what makes it the best, you know, and more rewarding than a religion could ever be.
I think that's part of. I've not spoken in one of Thrale's streams because since I started watching it, I've just not had the chance, and then I was ill for a while and literally lost my voice.
Yeah.
But when I'm watching you people, like you guys do it, I always find some of the questions that are being asked feel like they kind of they're dead ends, you know, because they're asking from a point of view of you have blind faith, but I don't think a lot of witches do have blind faith. They have an inquisitive nature and a faith in certain things, certainly, and everybody. But we're also different and often continuously developing, continuously changing, because we question, because we're investigative, because we use a lot of our own experiences to power our beliefs rather than being taught, rather than being given doctrine from an external source. Whereas a lot of religions, the reason why when you question them, their faith either breaks down or they get super defensive and leave is because they're taught to not question. They're taught everything as gospel fact. And
Wow.
once you work through that gospel fact and realize that there are inadequacies there and gaps in that, it becomes a massive mess of holes and plot issues and a fancy story that runs everything together but often doesn't make sense. And that's really damaging for someone who's believed for a long time to actually sit there and deal with. They have to, there's a lot of introspection that's then necessary to continue or to leave or to change your belief. Whereas a lot of witches, we live like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't mind me, I'm just replying to a message that I've got.
Okay.
You get your free ASMR
Yes.
on the Highland Witch Live. You get free
Click, click, click.
ASMR on Frozen Karen's lives, courtesy of me.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, but you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right in everything you just said. Like I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. I mean, I love going into Thrill's lives. Hi, Shez, how you doing?
Scary as sometimes.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes the questions, but you know what it does for me is it's reinforced my beliefs.
Yeah.
It's reinforced to me that, do you know what? What I believe is 110% right for me. What I believe might be completely different to what Phil believes. But then again, I might believe something completely different to you, Harry. You
Yeah, I
know?
mean, as I keep saying, I'm very new on my path. It's only literally really been a few months since I
Yeah.
actively decided I'm going to do this. It was stewing away in my brain for longer than that, but I'm of the opinion that I believe in people. I believe that majority of people don't lie. It's not a very common thing to find a real liar when it comes to stories about their beliefs and their experiences. When it comes to personal issues, that's a different thing altogether. People get shamed into making lies and making stories about a lot of things, obviously. But if someone's going to sit there and say,
Yeah.
I did this and this happened and I believe in this, it's usually because they do. And from my point of view, is if you believe in people and you believe that those people believe what they're saying, then inherently you have to, on some level, believe that what they believe is true. You can then form your own opinions about how that fits into your framework. Of course, I have through talking with Zafar, I think I probably am at the moment in a position where I have much more of an animist point of view that things have an energy that becomes a spirit, and have the spirits exist around us because of the belief in those things and the power that they have from the world, and blah blah blah. I could go on for hours and actually articulate it better, I'm sure. But I do not necessarily feel like that's incompatible with someone who devoutly believes in Hecate and does devotionals to Hecate and has holidays based around Hecate, because for me, there's no difference to me between what that person considers a deity and what I consider a spirit, and I wouldn't necessarily say that to someone as a matter of disrespect. And I accept that I may also be wrong in that, but that's how it works for me at the moment, and it'll probably change. I've got a long way ahead of me, with luck. And I feel like if you set yourself on a path that is, I believe this and I will never believe anything else, then you've already built a wall in front of yourself, and that path isn't really a path anymore. It's more of a room, to stretch the metaphor.
Yeah.
100%.
It's just and so, like I said, I'm sure I'll end up in Thrills streams chatting away to people questioning me at some point soon enough.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I actually think that all witches should be going into Thrale's lives, because it affords them a place where they are. This is what I was talking to him about earlier. I encourage my witches to come in there because it puts them into a place surrounded by skeptics and non-believers, and they ask them questions that the witch themselves may otherwise not ask themselves because they're being too kind to themselves. And that's why I go in, because I don't think I always ask myself the right questions. I think sometimes I avoid the hard questions, and I like going in there because I am put into a position where I have to answer the hard questions, and I enjoy that.
Good evening, Mr. Pigeon.
I'm going to say this. What can I say?
Hello.
How are you?
Well, how are you?
Very well, thank you. I'll see you soon, Claire. Take care, sweetheart. Thanks for popping in.
Claire.
So, yeah, we have pigeons. Well, no, we don't have pigeons. We have seagulls tonight, Mr. Pigeon. They're popping in. But yeah, I've gone into Thrale's live, and I've been asked questions where I've had to sit there and go, do you know what? I don't know. Do you know what? I actually, this is a question I don't know the answer to. For me, I'm going to have to go away and think about that.
That's usually when I say, that is a very good question, Thrale.
Yeah.
The Backlight Interrogation Recovery Group.
Yeah.
Fucking literally.
The only
Like
person
to join?
we've got an honorary member in our Haiti here, because he's not been up in the panel yet.
I've been lurking for the past few weeks because I've had a bit of a strange illness that stopped me from speaking for about nearly 2.5 weeks. But I might pop up soon. I probably will.
Do it.
Interesting. It would be interesting to see you do it because you're the relative beginning of your journey, right? Of your path. So it'd be interesting to see you go up and have him absolutely completely dismantle you.
Yeah.
And then return in a year to see how your beliefs have changed. Like that would be quite interesting to see.
I'd happily take part in that. I think another thing as well though is that like I am new to it in the sense that it's only been a few months of active practice. But as I said to all of you before, I was already sort of dabbling, and I've spent the past near on 25 years asking myself these questions anyway, and I've come to a point in my life where I'm satisfied with my personal answers for me. I'm not necessarily expecting them to work for everyone, but I'm at a position where my answers that I came up with for me are good for me. And the ones that I couldn't answer, I made a peace with not knowing the answer. So I can happily have that conversation with someone else. And I live in a position in a point where I'm constantly questioning, deconstructing what I know, because that's just how I am. I'm a very analytical person. I like to see patterns and I like to break them down and I like to figure it out and sort out what's going on and put things in categories and follow things. Like a lot of it, like I said, a lot of like my practice for the past few months has been I almost feel like I'm advancing ahead of myself because I'm picking up things that aren't necessarily being taught because of the way that my brain picks up patterns and things like correspondences. And if I see someone do two or three things that are similar, two or three people doing similar rituals or similar practices or similar workings, I start to notice what they're doing the same and the things they're doing differently. And that informs what they're doing in a way that they're not necessarily telling me through their TikTok video. And so like that obviously applies to my practice, but when it comes to my beliefs, I also treat beliefs in the same way. Like I believe things and other people believe things, but if you can't prove to me that it's not true, that's where I'm happy with. Like I feel like a lot of the things that are fact in the world are facts because they've been proven, and before that they were ideas people had that they believed in. And that works across science, it works across food, it works across fashion, it works across every aspect of creativity and lifestyle that the world has. And I don't necessarily feel like not being able to prove it means I have to stop believing it. So I'm happy to go up and have those conversations. The minute it's convenient for me to sit for the time that I need to sit and have that conversation in a live, I will probably jump up there very soon. But I feel like the other thing as well, some of the people who are invited in there, well, who ask to be put on the panel, and not the regulars, it's always the oddballs who come up, and it's like they start asking crazy questions, and they're the ones that throw me because I'm like, I don't know how to answer this politely.
Yeah. Do you know what? If somebody asks me a question and it's not something I can answer politely, I just say, yeah, I'm not going to answer that. I'll just be blunt. But I think that's maybe a Scottish thing. I don't know.
Highland Witch, did you block a person that goes by God?
Oh, that might have been Nico yesterday. She was blocking. Yes, I will go on and unblock him.
Yeah.
That's God from Bell's Lives, isn't it?
Well, it's God from my lives, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I will go on, apologise to him, and I will get him unblocked.
Wow, I'm in the box. I didn't realise.
Well, you asked. You said hi.
I didn't realise I clicked on it.
Hello, darling. How are you?
Hello, lovelies. I was too busy making a cup of tea, and then all of a sudden the sound just went really weird. I was like, am I in the box? Oh my days.
I have to say this layout is a menace because I can't even figure out how to like the live at the moment without trying to add myself to an extra box.
Oh my
I think you
days.
click on my face.
Oh,
tap on her
that's cool.
face.
It feels a little violent.
Just hit me in the face. It's fine. Right, here we go. I've got blocked.
The Moonwalker, now that you're in the live, sweetheart, what do you practice? If that's not too personal a question.
When you were talking earlier on about the ritual that I should put into place with what I've got going on next door, those types of things I've always been very, very drawn to. I definitely have the injustice sensitivity type of autism, if that makes sense to you. Very strong views when it comes to situations like that, which is why now that I'm in that situation, it's definitely thrown me. But I've always been a herbalist. I think when they were talking, I can't remember who it was earlier on, that when she was in the box and she was talking about, was it Looney? When she was saying about how she doesn't really know how to like navigate or, find her path. I think what you were saying in regards to like nature and things, I think that's where we all kind of start off, don't we? We live in such a fast-paced, hectic world. I believe that we burn ourselves out without even realizing. We've been indoctrinated and made to believe that everything needs to be fast paced. We should always be making money. We should always be doing something productive. When in actual fact, we should be slowing down, connecting with nature, connecting with animals, trees, plants. And that's how I got into herbalism when I was about 18, I think. I started studying herbalism. And I've just always been really drawn to it, honestly.
But it's so calming and peaceful, right?
It is. It really is. But I think for a very, very long time, I mean, I'm almost 38 now, but for a very long time, I suppressed myself. And I think that was also to do with, I guess, societal pressures and worrying about what people would think. It's like, oh, she's the crazy neighborhood witch. Now, I'm telling you, if you walk down my street, you know exactly where I live. Like, you could tell. And I love that. I used to hide it. I used to not want to express myself, whereas now I'm not afraid to, because I think that's how, what you were talking about earlier, that's how people learn, when they question things. And it's often, a lot of time, I think people question things out of fear of, they can have very structured minds. And I think when someone actually starts questioning things outside the box, what Harry was just saying, you've got to unlearn everything that we've been taught. And it's a very hard pill to swallow a lot of the time, isn't it? To realize that the majority of what we've been taught growing up is in fact a lie. So it's about that. I always say that in regards to spirituality and witchcraft, it's about finding your own path and what works for you, because there is no right or wrong in that sense. And there we go.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Not one flaw detected.
I don't speak very often, but when I do, it's usually a speech.
Well, you can come back. I enjoyed that.
You're welcome anytime. Absolutely.
I love it. Well, I'm going to go get ready for bed, but it was lovely speaking to you guys. I appreciate you letting me jump on.
Lovely to hear from you.
Have a
Much
great
love, guys. I'll see you
Have a good
soon.
night. Sleep well, sweetheart.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Guess who used a flare?
What's that mean?
I don't know. I think it pushes the light further out the FYP.
Can you hear me? I'm on the other side. I was in a total different room.
I could hear you there.
That's wild.
Good evening, God. Apologies for yesterday.
I actually get that all the time. People just block me as soon as they see my name, so it's okay. No
I
worries.
wonder why.
Nico was she'd blocked somebody else, and you'd come in straight after her, and she'd probably gone, oh no, without realizing. But it's
I
fine.
get it. I get it. If I saw me come in a room, I'd probably block me too.
How are you tonight?
And I hope everyone else is doing okay too. It's good to be on the panel. It's good to talk to you guys. I've only seen you like while I was in the comments, so it's nice to meet everybody.
Well, welcome in.
I've seen you in Thrail's lives before, I think.
Yeah, I like hanging out in there. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Scott, of course,
She
he's a
just
good
likes
guy.
the voice. She just likes Thrill's voice.
Don't we all?
Don't we all?
Oh, exactly.
Honestly,
man could read
Grail,
me a
that man
bedtime
could
story.
read the phone book and I would go to sleep happily.
Yeah.
Just,
Yep. 100%.
He could read the Nando's menu, and I'd be snoring in a corner quite happily.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure, if the debate lives ever fall apart, he's definitely got a future in ASMR.
The pigeon.
Oh, definitely.
Debate lives. Does he? Because I know he does talking lives, but does he host the debate lives?
He does not host debate lives. He doesn't like debate lives, and he really doesn't like people try to debate him.
Yeah.
Thank God.
So
Okay.
before he went live, he was my co-host, and I ran an octagon of a debate live. And I will get tired of letting people speak, mute them, talk over them, cuss them out, kick them, bring the next guest, and do it all over again. He was my good cop / fact checker. If somebody wasn't, because I would just be drinking, and so I'd start drinking, and it would be fun, and then it would just kind of get dark, and then Thrail would be just pulling me off the poor bastards, saying, "Hey, they're not saying what you think they're saying."
is what you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Look at that. The more you know.
I think Thrill sort of lost his taste for it, and so he really wants to do not that.
He
I
stays
wonder
so
if that's when
calm.
I met you then.
What's
When
that?
you were in your, I wonder if that's when I met you, when you were in your dick face. 'Cause I was talking to Thrale about that earlier on. Because a few months ago, I was in Thrale's live, and I got what the fucked, like big time what the fucked, and I was like, people were pure shouting at me and shit, and I was like, who the fuck you fucking talking to? And then I get booted. Like it was proper rage bait material, and I was like, fuck you, you fucking cunts. One day I will see you and I will get my revenge. Turns out I quite like you. These are good guys.
Yeah, all right.
And he stays so calm in his lives. When we're in, he's so calm with everybody and so measured, and sometimes you can't pick up a bit of frustration though.
Yeah.
You know.
And he beats himself up over it too whenever someone says anything about it. But I mean, I wouldn't be able to talk to half of those people without getting angry, so I don't blame him.
Moron.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm not muted.
It's
I'm not muted.
a skill to be able to talk to some of the people that come up in there and be calm, cool, and collected at the same time.
See, with me, you know the crash out is coming, but with Thrail, it's when you hear the long sigh. When he unmutes to sigh, then you know that mean skeleton man is coming out.
See, I knew it. I knew they were real boys.
I love it. See when he goes, I do it back. I'm like,
Oh, that means a lot. Were you there, Crows, when I was talking about energy being the stuff between things?
Yeah, oh my god, yes. And I was talking to Lizzie. Lizzie's got horses, right? We're health as well, right? And she was talking about our horses, and I was like, the horses are the glue.
Glue.
It was so
Oh,
funny.
that's right. You kept saying glue with the E, and I was on mushrooms, so I was like, oh, glue with the E. I love it.
Glue. And then somebody in the chat started talking about gluons.
What the fuck's a glue on? I feel
It's
so
something nuclear.
I think those are like the pretend nails that you glue on.
Why?
Those are press
Totally
on.
dumbed down just to speak to us. Do you know that?
It's press on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say press ons.
I think I googled it yesterday, and there's they're nuclear particles or something, way above my pay grade to know about these.
What? You don't split atoms in witchcraft?
No. Oh, I haven't yet. Notice I said yet.
I see that. I wanted to talk to the Moonwater lady, find out how that works.
I mean, it's bad enough I've burnt my eyebrows off on occasion.
No, do you know what was funny? Right, I'll tell you what was funny. What was funny was the other day there. Right, hold on, I'm coming. Need a minute, shut up. Right, I'm coming.
Who's coming?
Do you know what was funny? Right, sorry, I'm trying to find my nail varnish. Right, hold on. I'm totally going to run over the top of you all. It was funny. Yesterday. Fucking Pigeon lost his absolute shit, man. Like absolute shit. He was shouting and screaming and fucking swearing at this guy. It was fucking. In fact, it was this morning. It was fucking hilarious. He's missed it. It was epic.
Hiya, Rach. How you doing, darling? And I missed that because I was taking my mother shopping.
Oh, you missed it. It was fucking. I was on the other end of the phone. I was fucking pissing myself laughing. I was like, I had whiplash. It was fucking hilarious.
Oh, the Mormon guy.
Yes.
Was it the Mormon guy? The racist stuff? Yeah.
No, it was the guy after that. It was the Zara guy.
Oh, that guy was making me mad.
Oh, you
He
were
just
swearing
missed
at
something
him.
you said, and I was like, no, hang on a second. You're not even answering her question. What the fuck?
I know, it was so funny.
Losing your shit is so out of character for you, Pigeon. I'm surprised.
Well, God's always watching. God would know.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys know now from being in Thrale's lives, my favourite questions to ask the Christians. I've never had one yet in Thrale's life that can answer my question about the first commandment. They've all gone, oh, I don't know, I'll have to look it up. And I'm like,
What is the first commandment, God?
honest with you, I don't know them in order if I'm really thinking about it. I know what they are. I don't know what the first one is.
Yeah,
It's been a while. What?
I
you're a
love this.
jealous God.
I can't hear you.
You're a jealous God.
Yeah, you're a jealous God, yeah.
Oh, well,
But
yeah.
the first commandment is,
have no other gods before you because you're a jealous God.
yeah, thou shalt have no other gods above me. Thereby admitting that there are other older deities out there.
Which makes perfect sense. If I
I'm
was
just
like a loser, half-wit middle manager god, and I was in charge of a planet, I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm the only one. I'm the big guy in charge. I'm the boss." What are you gonna do? Ask for my supervisor? Get the fuck out of here. That's actually the end of Job. He says, "What do you mean? Why did I do this to you? I'm fucking God. What are you gonna do? Ask for my supervisor?"
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love it. Oh, sorry, it just made me giggle there. Yeah, Rich has got a point. It's like when they say God loves you, but you're going to hell. Okay. As long as there's alcohol. And a barbecue.
Wait,
And
that's
that's the all up who has.
degenerates and loose women are, right? Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. What are you saying, Phil, baby?
No, it's also, that the idea of this, they call him an all-loving God, but like how many times has he wiped out humanity and entire cities of people just because he was fucking angry? Well, why the fuck isn't he doing that now while the world is, on fire?
Maybe
building. That's what they'll tell you. It builds character.
Malaria
Oh,
builds character, God. Is that
Oh,
what you're
you don't
saying?
have to tell me that. My mother is super, super religious, and yeah, like we have these conversations all the time because she forces them on me.
God went
All
into hiding after we invented the camera.
Pitchy. Phil, your mother has a statue of the Cailleach.
Yeah, he has an altar to the Cailleach, and I'm like, y'all are worshiping the Cailleach in this house, like. And I told her what it meant. She was just like, "Oh, and it's stayed there ever since. She hasn't taken it down." So.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, it's still there. Mind you, that has always kind of been like that since my grandmother has lived in the house, and my grandmother's been dead for a few years now, so.
Tell me your grandmother was a witch without telling me your grandmother was a witch.
I'm
Oh,
good.
one,
Love yous. Bye.
her grandmother, or well, mother, my great grandmother, I guess, she was an occultist, and yeah, my mom totally opened, or yeah, I remember telling you guys about that when she totally opened up to me about that the first time. And I was like, well, why haven't you told me that? Because that's actually really interesting information to know.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to ask the question here. And I know, Phil, you don't have to answer because I know what animals you've got.
Yeah.
So, what pets does everybody have if they have pets?
I don't have any. I wish I did, but I live in rented accommodation. It doesn't allow them. So.
What would you have if you were allowed one?
Oh, everything under the sun. I want a snake. I would love a dog and a cat. I love rats. I used to have 6 rats and they all died, and I would love more. I'd love a giant Gambian pouch rat. I'd love a horse. I'd love a pony. I would love a tiny pig. Birds. I love birds. Anything with feathers. I'd love a fruit bat, but obviously you don't take wild animals out of the wild, as adorable as they are. Same goes for raccoons and things like that. But again, they don't exist over here anyway, so that's fine.
Oh no, I
Love
want a trash
domesticated
panda.
fox.
I want a trash panda.
Yeah.
Harry, you have the exact same list as my 10 and 7-year-old daughters. I mean, right down to the trash panda.
I would like to say it's not, that was the first time I've been compared to a small child, but it would be a lie. Animals love me and I love them, but unfortunately I can't give that love to any of them because landlords are horrific in this country and they don't let you have pets.
Terrible. I literally rescued a cat from the dumpster, and my daughters feed it quail eggs and dried fish and salmon, and I'm like, I don't spend this much feeding y'all. What the fuck? Anyway, the most beautiful cats you've ever seen. Now there's two of them, both rescues with gorgeous, lustrous coats. They eat 3 times a day. They live better than most of us.
Oh, my cat's better fed than me. What about you, God? Do you have any pets or animals or?
Hold on, I'll turn on my camera.
Oh, get visual.
Yeah, I was just about to draw my camera because Bridget's super cute over here.
Bridget is such a poser.
She is such a fucking poser. I love her. She's a poser in the best way. Hold
Oh
on.
my God, you have a Beethoven.
That's
Yeah.
Phyllis, and that's Fiona. We
Oh.
call her Fifi.
Don't.
Oh,
They're both really good girls.
But they're amazing names as well.
Thank you.
What was the second name?
Phyllis and Fiona.
Oh my god, I love
AKA
it.
Fifi.
So I'll tell God this. My drag name is Phil's Hole.
That's hilarious.
And I want a goat. Now, has anybody seen The Witches? I'll have seen it. The horror movie called Witch.
With Black Phillip.
Seen it.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Philip, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm going to say. I want a black goat. And I'm going to call it Black Phillip. After a goat in that film. But it wasn't really a goat, it was the devil.
I heard the director said that after working with that goat, he almost quit movies entirely because it was such a bastard.
Yeah. But I was like, I want that goat.
Just because you brought up, because
What, baby?
I have an apron that I got off of Temu that is totally made from that movie. I'm gonna show it right now. Hold on.
Yeah, I love that apron.
My daughters are obsessed with Goat Simulator right now.
Look at that apron.
Rad.
Oh, there's
Something a bit
Bridget.
ominous about that.
Hello, Bridget. Hello, my baby. You're such a bonny girl.
She is such a bonny girl. I love her so much.
She's so gorgeous.
She is. I also have to answer your question, Diane. I don't mind answering, but I'm also interested in answering the second question because the hypothetical pets that I could have, endless. I would definitely love a horse. I would definitely love to have a pet skunk. I would definitely love to have a pet raccoon. Like pretty much everything I could find in the wild when I'm walking around the forest, I just want to bring home with me.
Oh yeah, I would love a unicorn, Rach. I would love a unicorn. You want to come up, pop up, and have a chat and say what's occurring? Well, that's my terrible Welsh accent, by the way.
When I lived in Ireland for a while, and one day I was walking down this high street in Dublin, and there was a woman. I swear to God, I believe it was because I have never seen a dog like this. She was walking a wolf on a rope. It had yellow eyes. It was huge. Its head didn't sit up like a dog's. It leaned forward like a wolf, and it was stalking. But it was very friendly, and I got to pet it. And at the same time, I've never been more scared to put my hand near anything in my life.
Are you all right?
All right.
Hi, Ray.
Well,
Hiya.
in.
What's happening?
That's my terrible Welsh accent. No, do you know what it is? It's I've got to get this right. It's my dad's cousin, so she's my second cousin. But she was brought up, her dad was Welsh, and she was brought up in Wales, in South Wales. And the first time I ever met her, the first thing she said to me was, "Oh my God, you look like your mother." And I stood there in Northern England and went, "Yeah, what?" She repeated herself, and then I understood her. And yeah.
I can't do accents generally, but being from the northeast of England, the Geordie accent has like similar trends in it to Welsh, even though they don't really sound the same. But if you go to like a non-English speaking country, often I get asked if I'm Welsh because we have a similar kind of sing-songy way of talking, I guess, like up and down and certain
Yeah,
things.
it's the dialect. It's because like the mining culture
Yeah.
transferred up there.
Yeah, so I mean, Newcastle in general is a bit of a melting pot. There's a lot of Irish, a lot of Welsh, and a lot of Scottish people
Yeah.
all came down here for mining and shipbuilding. So a lot of Geordie accent comes from that. And
Yes, Philip.
when I'm around a Welsh person for too long, I sound like I'm taking the piss out of them so badly because I can't help it. I kind of accidentally mimic, but I also can't do it. So if we're ever in person, Rach, I'm so sorry in advance.
Do you know what? I'm exactly the same. It doesn't matter where I am. If I'm there for too long, I'm kind of talking a little bit like them.
Yeah, it's just it's something that for me it's much more subtle. Because again, I can't do it at all. I can't pick up a lot of the noises that come from accents, but it's so accidental that it does just sound like I'm trying to really insult somebody.
I had a friend on Xbox that was from England, and we would play every single day. And we would play for like 3 or 4 hours at a time. And after a while, I would start mimicking him, and I wouldn't even realize I was doing it. And then he would just stop talking and just let me hear myself for a minute, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm doing it again, aren't I?"
I'm just going to admit it. I'll just admit it now. I'm Scottish. My mum's Scottish. My dad's English.
Never would have guessed.
But my dad, I know. It's you know, it's not something I advertise, but my dad's English. But he's lived up here longer than I've been alive, so he's naturalised. He's a naturalised Scot. I was about to say he was nationalised.
I love that.
My ex-wife's sister married a man from Edinburgh, and I can't understand a thing he fucking says. It's like he took that tip where they're like, stuff your mouth full of marbles, but he never took them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say, having been to Scotland a fair few times, I'm just south of the Scottish border, like an hour away. So I've been to Edinburgh a few times, and you know, day trips all over the place. And
How far north have you come, boyo?
Not that far, really.
Not my far north.
No, but I never really had a problem understanding Scottish accents, and then I went to Glasgow. And my God, I'm not being
spooky.
I'm not even being insulting here. I'm pretty sure a lot of Glaswegian people still use some Scots in their dialect. I don't understand a lot of people from Glasgow.
Yeah, do you know what? But the best bit is, within Glasgow, there are probably about 5 different dialects.
Yeah. Same with Dublin, to be honest.
It
was like, you could be in the centre of Dublin and hear 7 different accents, and all of them are Dublin accents.
Yeah, I mean, I married a Fifer, okay? And when we go down to visit, when I go to visit my mother-in-law, if I ever come on a live and I'm visiting my mother-in-law, you will hear the Fife accent come out. Because I just pick it up straight away for her.
So every American thinks they can do a perfect English accent.
Not a single one of them can.
Go on. Go on.
And if the subject ever comes up, I'll say, okay, so if you want to perfect the accent, what you have to do is say Michael Caine, but you have to actually say Michael Caine. And when you say Michael Caine, and so I literally had a panel full of people, everyone with the open mic, just going, Michael Caine, Michael Caine.
My name is Michael Caine, and I am a nosy neighbour. I can't do it. I can't do it. I tell you what, I can do my dad's accent. I can take the mick out of my dad, no problem. Because I take the mick out of my cousins. They want to put wood in Thal because it's bloody freezing out there.
Oh, that's good.
He's from Yorkshire then.
Bugger off. He's
Lancashire.
from Lancashire.
Oh,
Hey!
got that mixed up. Sorry.
Right.
They do sound very similar, in fairness.
They do sound very, very similar. Yeah, thanks. When you came back at the right time, I'm taking proper mick out with my dad. You know, I remember going down to visit my granddad when he was still alive, and I went to the chip shop, and I said, "Can I have a portion of chips, please?" In my best Queen's English at the time. I went in, I was like, what, 20, 21? And I was like, "Hi, could I please have a portion of chips?" And they gave me a steak and kidney pudding and chips.
Don't start with that now. I went to Edinburgh, right, on a Hindu,
What did we do?
right? Don't even go there, right? I queued for hours for this chippy, right, as you do. And I asked for a rissole and chips and red sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So you understand what I've asked for, do you?
A rissole, chips, and tomato sauce.
Rissole, chips and red sauce.
Yeah.
Right? I had to ask for it 3 times. The person I was speaking to was like, "What is a rissole?" I had no idea what I was on about, so I had to explain what a rissole was. In the end, I just had chips and cheese because it was too painful. They didn't do rissoles.
Yeah.
I have to say, I don't know what a rissole is.
They don't. Scottish chippy don't do rissoles.
Gavin,
Yes.
you don't know what a rissole is.
I don't think they do them here either.
It's like minced beef. Well, like, no, not minced. It's, you know, like the inside of a pasty.
Yeah.
Mince, right? An onion and potato and all that. And then it's in a bowl. And it's covered with breadcrumbs and it's deep fried.
It sounds delicious, but I've never seen that on any
It
menu.
is delicious, but they
around
don't
here.
do that up here. You'd have just been as well asking for a deep fried Mars bar.
They are delicious though, deep fried Mars bars. I hate myself for them, but I'd eat them all day.
That
I never
sounds
tried one.
that just
Pizza
sounds
crunch.
so vulgarly American, actually, a deep fried Mars bar.
It was invented over here.
I've had a blast, and thank you for having me up, Highland Witch. All of your friends are cool, and you all have awesome accents.
Oh, thank you, Mr.
Oh,
Pigeon.
bless
You're always
you.
welcome here. Always
so-
welcome, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, darling. But yeah. Oh, pizza crunch. I love a pizza crunch.
Never had one,
What's
but I've always
that?
wanted one.
Deep fried pizza.
No.
Yeah, pizza. You can in batter, deep fried.
Oh, my gallbladder wouldn't be thanking me for that in the morning.
Oh, but you
Let's
told us
just
thank you when you're eating it.
say, I usually suffer the next morning, and usually spend quite a lot of time in the loo. But it's worth it. That sounds terrible. And something that they do in like Edinburgh and Fife, that they don't do up here, is when you go to the chip shop in Fife and you just say, for argument's sake, I'll say I'm going to have a haggis, deep fried haggis and chips. So I'll go in and ask for a haggis supper, and they say, "Do you want salt and sauce?" It's not salt and vinegar, salt and sauce. And I wish they did that up where I live, because chippy sauce is the best.
Like a what is it?
It's basically like brown sauce that's slightly watered down with vinegar.
Oh, that sounds lovely. I love vinegar. I could when I'm when you just want something and you're not sure what it is, you just want a little snack, just something to just eat quickly. I've been known to get a slice of bread and just put vinegar on it.
What?
I've never had
I
that.
love vinegar that much. And my boyfriend walked in on me doing it not long after we got together, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And I was like,
Oh my god.
I
I'm
was just
good,
hungry.
Philippa. How are you, my darling? How you doing? Oh wow. Do you know what my mum does? Right? You know when you go to a certain coffee shop and you get a toasty,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sometimes when you come out, the crusts are a wee bit hard. They're absolutely solid. Hi, Trail. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, we go to this particular coffee shop and the crusts are a wee bit harder than normal. My mum dunks them in her coffee.
Ooh.
And I sat there one day and went, that is disgusting. And she went, don't knock it till you've tried it. So the next time we went, now she drinks black coffee. My mother's not right. She drinks black coffee. And I was sat there with my nice caramel latte with an extra shot because I'm a bougie bitch and I need the caffeine. And I dunked my crust in my coffee. And oh my God, it was game changing. It was so nice.
Apparently, that's what they do with croissants in France. They dip it in their coffee. I know
Yeah.
it's not crusts, but apparently that's what they do.
Fescar Mathriel, how are you tonight?
I
Oh,
can't
it's a
stand
nice.
coffee.
See, I have to have coffee.
I was never a big fan, and I probably would have grown into it. But when I was at school, we did a group experiment in science. Everyone had to bring coffee in, and then in groups of 5, one person would drink a cup of coffee. It was like a 3-hour session, and every 20 minutes they'd take their pulse and then drink another cup of coffee. And
Ah,
we did that for like 2 hours of the 3-hour session. Recorded the increase in the heart rate. My group, none of us wanted to drink coffee. None of us liked it. And so we all drew straws, and I got the short straw, so I had to drink the coffee. And we had 3 cups. I had 3 cups over the course of an hour. No sugar, no milk, just black. And had no change in my pulse. At which point, someone realised they brought in decaffeinated coffee. So we had to backtrack and start again. So whereas everybody else had 6 cups of coffee, I had 9 cups of coffee over about 2.5, 3 hours, and I can't anymore. I like coffee flavored things, like coffee cake, coffee ice cream, things like that. I can deal with
Oh
that,
no.
but I can't drink coffee. It sends my stomach absolutely deranged. I can't do it.
No. I love coffee. Like I wake up earlier than what I should just to have at least 3 cups of coffee before I even venture out of the house.
yeah.
Like it's genuinely that bad. But for whatever reason, I don't like coffee flavored like sweets or chocolates or iced coffee. Like what is that? What's that?
Yeah. Now, see, Celine, you've got the same thing as me. Coffee makes you sleepy. I can literally drink a cup of very strong coffee, go to bed and sleep like the unalived.
No way.
Uh-huh.
No.
Uh-huh.
I have.
Drink
Well, I'm
coffee
actually
all
waiting
day.
on a formal. I'm waiting on a formal diagnosis, but I've had several people who know me, like medical professionals, say they're pretty sure I've got attention deficit disorder.
Yeah.
But the wait list is quite long.
Oh, I'm not even bothering
No,
because
I'm not.
my oldest got diagnosed. My youngest suspects that she has it, and they got the wee check sheet that NHS Scotland give you,
Yeah,
and you have to go through it. And me and their dad went through it and went, we've got ADHD. That
yeah.
was
My,
it. You know, the
I,
kids were like, are you going to go and get diagnosed? I went, why? I'm
I was
52 this year, and I've lived my entire life
yeah.
not knowing that I was neurospicy.
Yeah, I was going through some counselling for various reasons, and at the end of it, the person who's doing my counselling was like, "I can't diagnose you, but I can give you the test. So I'll just talk you through the test, and then we can forward that to the doctor and get him to put you on a wait list to see someone to diagnose you." I was like, "That's fine." And she did the test with me over the phone, and we finished, and she was like, "Oh," I was like, "What?" She went, "Um." I've never seen a score this high before. I was like, oh. And she went, the maximum score is 26. You need about, I can't remember what number it was like half of it or something you needed to get off the score or something to get through. And she was like, You've got 24. I was like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, that you're neurospicy, pal.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Somewhere along the
They
line, I'm
do
sure.
say that, don't they? That, like, stimulants with, as you've classed it, neurospicy will have the opposite effect of what you would like it to have.
And
Yeah,
I think
if
my
I had
dad
a
might
kind
be
of
neurospicy as well because he's like me or I'm like him. Hi, Lord Kermart. Love you too. Bye.
if I have a kind of monster or something to try and perk myself up, it's a 50-50 on whether I have to then go to bed and have a nap or not.
Well, I've just nicked Neurosparkly. No, I like that.
I like that.
Neurosparkly. I like that better than Neurospicy. I mean,
That's lovely.
I've literally, see
Neurospicy.
tonight, I've had 2 tins Red Bull. Big ones, not
So,
wee ones.
what is it like then if you had something, like, just me asking now, because it just came to my head, if you had something like a chamomile tea or the equivalent of what would naturally be
Knocks me
classed
out.
as something to calm you down, what are you guys like then?
Knocks me out.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, knocks me out.
I often find it makes me very like lethargic and dopey almost, but it doesn't really help me fall asleep.
Yeah. My favourite is like when Harry was unwell, and I'd said I suggested melon tea, wasn't it, darling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I take that because, well, I like it, and I'll put chamomile in there and a little tiny bit of lavender, and that'll knock me out for the night. Love you, Kermark.
I know
Oh,
that when
dogwood root mugwort. Listen, I'll be tripping balls with that.
Oh, mugwort.
Mugwort makes me
Ooh.
trip.
Yeah.
I do like it though.
no, I've
A bit of a hangover the next day, in a way.
Yeah.
I've heard that about it. If I'm in hospital for any reason and they need to give me like anesthetics, I am incredibly resistant to them as well. If someone someone just accosted me in the street when I was about 17 or 18.
Yeah.
And punched me for no reason. When the police caught him and asked him, he said
my
he was wearing an
gosh.
orange t-shirt. Anyway, my tooth went through my face and I had to go and get some stitches.
Oh no.
And the guy put 3 full needles in my face and I could still feel it. And I was like, I can feel what you're doing. He went, you can't possibly do it. just carried on without it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Very similar. When I used to go to the dentist, now I'm going to admit here, Wild Lord dropped. Yeah, when I used to go to the dentist, I still go to the dentist, but when I used to have to get work done on my teeth, honest to
Bye.
God,
Hello.
bye. My dentist used to have to almost give me too much
Yeah.
for me to be completely numbed up. And oh my God, Celine, no.
Oh God.
Now I had a spinal for my second.
Yeah.
Both my kids came out the sunroof. And the first one I had an epidural, which was great, and then I got morphine, which was even better. The next day wasn't very nice. And my youngest, I had a spinal,
Yeah.
which, was the weirdest thing ever because I didn't feel pain, but I felt everything else. I knew exactly what was being done.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it. And I wasn't in this country. I was in a European nation, and their version of giving you painkillers was to put a paracetamol where the sun don't shine.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yeah.
It worked.
I remember
But
oh, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, the paracetamol where the sun don't shine, it worked.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Oh, night, Philip. Oh, thank you, darling.
Good night, darling. I remember with
Well.
my second boy, I had epidural, spinal block. Both my boys were born via C-section for a variety of reasons. Both 2 weeks early and both nearly £10. Let's put it that way. And yeah, oh yes.
I was 2 weeks early and nearly £10. I was always also double breech.
Yeah. And with my second, I was on the operating theatre because, like, you're awake, but you're kind of away with the fairies in like a little bit.
Oh, when they give you the good stuff, yeah.
Oh yeah. And I remember giving birth to my second, and everything was lovely and grand, and cutching and all of that. And then they started stitching me up, and I said, "Oh, what's that? What are you doing? I can feel that." And genuinely, they were like, "No, you can't. You shouldn't." So they did it again, whatever they were doing. And I was like, whoa, stop. Because I had the green curtain in front of me because that's what I requested. Because I was like, there's no way I want to see all the gubbins and everything.
Yeah, I was the same.
Yeah. And and so somebody else that was like in the background came over and went kind of, hang on, do that again. They did it again. I was like, no, I can't feel that. So they were obviously testing me, what I could feel and what I couldn't. And then they did something without me saying, can you feel this? And I was like, oh, whoa. And they all stepped back. By this point, I could see the blood everywhere on their aprons.
You mean the human juice?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yes, the red paint.
Yeah.
And at that point, they had to say, we have to call a second anaesthetist to put you under. Because I only had one anaesthetist in the room with me. So I had to wait for 20 minutes, awake and in absolute agony.
Oh, babe.
While I waited for a second anaesthetist to be called in to put me under. By this point, I was like, just unalive me. I was in so much agony.
Oh, my darling.
And when I woke up, they told me that I might have to have an emergency hysterectomy because I'd lost so much blood.
Wow.
Yeah, it was absolutely horrific experience. But I would absolutely do it all again.
Yeah, I'm like that. When I had both mine were emergency sunroof jobs. My oldest was 8 weeks early, £3 half an ounce, £3 7.5 ounces. My youngest was 6 weeks early. I cooked that little sod for an extra 2 weeks, and she came out £0.5 lighter. She was £3 half ounce.
Wow.
Big one was 3 weeks in the NICU. Little one was 4 weeks.
Oh, bless you.
Do you know what? The only way you would even guess that one of my kids was premature was my little one's 4'11".
Oh.
My big one's 5'3", and you wouldn't think this child was early. No. But there's I was touch wood, touch hairy wood. I've been really blessed because my kids both been super healthy.
And that's amazing.
Yeah, I had preeclampsia twice.
Oh gosh.
After the first one, they went, "Now don't worry. If you have any more, lightning never strikes twice."
Yeah.
See, after I had the second, I went, lightning absolutely does strike twice. What a crock of shit.
That's the midwife's tale, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have it once, you won't have it again. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember turning around to the midwife who had told me I didn't have it. I won't get it. And she came to visit me after I got out of the hospital, and she came to check on me, and I turned around and I went, absolutely, lightning does strike twice. And she went, oh, I'm really sorry. She says, we're always told it doesn't. I said, well, it bloody does.
No, my parents said that I was 2 weeks early, so they took my mum in. They said, 2 weeks early is probably going to be a little small, because all of my brothers and sisters were under £7. In fact, 2 of them were under £5, quite small. Healthy, on time, just small.
Yeah.
And but they knew I was going to be bigger because of how big my mum was. And then they took her in just before midnight, and early the next morning, she said, "I've changed my mind. I want a C-section." And they said, "I'm sorry, you've put it off for too long now." And so she had to do it the traditional way, but I was double
No.
breech, £9.9 with the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck because I'm that awkward. And apparently I was called that for about a week because she was so angry.
Now, do you get your mum Mother's Day cards that say, "I'm sorry I wrecked your hoochie coochie"?
No, I don't, because I don't think she'd appreciate it. She's a little bit prudish when it comes to
All
things
right,
like
okay.
that. But I do call her every day.
Oh well, see,
Oh,
I
bless
speak to my
you.
mum every day. I'm lucky I've still got mine, my parents, but you know, I speak to my mum every day, and I did say that to her one Mother's Day. I said, "I'm sorry, I wrecked your hoochie coochie, Ma." I don't
Oh,
know.
I
I
love
don't know.
that.
She got traumatized when she was pushing me out. I don't know, and wouldn't let Dad near her till he got the snip snip.
No, I've had some horrific things said to me in jest, but
Yeah.
still horrific, about that birth that will always leave an indelible mark on my brain. Pardon me. About parts of my mother that I don't care to think about, but I was kind of forced to.
Oh my God,
Um,
Selena, I love that. I'm sorry, I wore you like a heart. Oh my God.
But that's the thing. That breach is that, but double breach is that I refused to get out of the fetal position and came out butt first.
See, that's why I'm glad that I actually did have a C-section with my youngest, because that's how she was.
Yeah.
They were like, "This child's going to come out bum first." I was like, "Oh no, she's not. Not turn her." And then they went, "Nah, we're just gonna slice and dice, mate." I was like, "All right then." But I'm not signing the forms. And at the time, the hubby was at home with the oldest, and I went, "I ain't signing no forms until he is here,"
Yeah, yeah,
because they would have took me in and done it without him there. And I was like, "I won't sign anything until he is right next to me." And could I get him on the phone?
yeah.
I had to phone my neighbour, who thankfully had a key to my flat. I had the key for hers as well, but she had a key to my flat, and she came over, woke him up, took my oldest, got her dressed, took her back to her house, and said, "Right, just get there, you know, the baby's coming." And he was like, and then he turned up, and I was like, "Right, I'll sign the forms now." And with my oldest, you know, they put the curtain up, and with my oldest, he was a little shit because he kept turning around and looking. He was looking round it to see what they were doing because he's nosy like that.
Oh,
And where we were in Europe at the time, and they put the biggest green screen up,
yeah.
so he couldn't even look round it. And I was like, "Well, that's good. You can't see what they're doing. That's fine. You can't give me a running commentary, because I don't have that nice Glaswegian nurse that told you what to do." And you know, it was fine. But yeah, my youngest is 4'11", works in a pub, and will square up to a guy that's like 6'5", covered in tats,
Yes,
built like a brick outhouse, and throw him out of our pub.
yes,
And when she tells me she's done that, I'm like, "Ah, that's my girl." The
absolutely.
pride. She's the wee spicy one.
I love it.
Very, very spicy. But see, when I talk about my path, she'll sit and talk to me about it, and she'll sit and listen and ask questions. And I'll say, "Do you want me to teach you?" No. No.
She'll ask when she's ready.
Yeah, my oldest is a practicing pagan, has an altar to the gods that they work with.
Yeah, my family are a bit funny. Like, my mother was raised Catholic, and she's gone back to the church and then left the church and then gone back to the church and then left the church as things have gone on. But I did recently tell her I was gonna embrace being a witch.
Yeah.
I was expecting not like a bad reaction as such, but I was expecting her to kind of laugh and just laugh it off.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh well, you've always been interested. I'm really excited for you to finally embrace this. I've always thought you had a gift." And then she came back less than a week later. She'd found a book of spells in a charity shop. And
Oh, I
then
love your mom.
yeah, and then
That's
this week
beautiful.
she brought me. But she said I was just saw this in the shops, and she brought me and in fairness, they're very pretty, but they're like made out of very cheap metal. Some witches' spoons.
Oh,
I
And they're
saw
very
them, Gav. I
yeah.
saw them.
They're like metal spoons, and they've got
Yeah.
genuine lumps of raw mineral, like rocks on the end. They've got there's like
Yeah.
a amethyst, obsidian, rose quartz.
oh, I love those
Yeah,
kind
You
of
that
showed them in the WhatsApp, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I was like, that is so touching and really, really sweet. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's
I
so
love it.
nice. I love
love
that
it.
for you.
Like, for me, oh God, it's so weird. Like, my parents outwardly are like, yeah, we're Christians, right? But within the house I was brought up in, absolutely not. And it's a shame that it's been hidden from a lot of people, but I have had a few experiences over the last week or two. I don't know if Harry Godfather, you might be aware of what I've put up on WhatsApp,
Yeah,
but I can absolutely see why certain practices have been hidden,
Mm-hmm.
because I've experienced it very recently and it's appalling. But I was brought up in a household where everything was accepted. You know, I was brought up from a very, very young age of, you know, if you like women, that's fine. We love you for it.
Yeah.
If you like men, we love you for it. It's fine. You be you, whatever you want to do, whoever you are, we will love you for it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that environment just allowed me to flourish, you know? And it was only really dealing with the outside world that I realised that, unfortunately, you can't always be 100% yourself. But it's only been in the last couple of years that I'm like, do you know what? F this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be me. I'm going to let the world know that I'm a witch. I don't care. And in the last 2 weeks, I've actually been questioned on it. And it's appalling. You know, in this day and age, you'd really assume that that's still not a thing. But it
Yeah.
is.
I think unfortunately, we live in a world where all spiritual beliefs are dealt with a little bit of skepticism nowadays. And I understand why, because a lot of organized religion is very judgmental, I guess, and very preachy. But I always feel like unless someone's going to give me a reason to distrust them, I will always respect what they believe, because what someone believes and the religion that comes from don't always necessarily 100% slot together, you know? Like a lot of Christians don't necessarily believe in the anti-LGBT, anti-abortion elements of a religion, but they still consider themselves Christian or Catholic. A lot of Hindu people aren't going to be. I don't know enough about the faiths, to be honest, to be able to continue that metaphor through. I don't know why I started or tried.
Yeah, Celine's got a point there, though, because she said people fear what they don't understand, and that is a lot of it. I mean, you know, Daff would tell you, I used to be a complete people pleaser, and it's only, you know, the last sort of year or so that I am very much, this is what you get, what you see is what you get, and if you don't like it, there's the door.
Yeah.
And in the last year, I have questioned everything I believe. I have broke everything down and started again. I have gone right back to basics with my practice and my craft. And, you know, cut ties with people. I've cut a lot of ties with people.
Yeah.
Who didn't align with what I believe.
Yeah.
and didn't so much question my belief, but stuff like when you'll hear likes of me and Crows and the other Scottish witches talk about talk about our fair folk.
Yeah.
Our fair folk aren't any joke. They will eat you.
Yeah.
They will eat your soul. And I've had people laugh at that, and I was like, it's no laughing matter to me. That is not a laughing thing. That's not a joke to me. That's serious. You know, we treat our fair folk like good neighbours. There's a healthy dose of fear and a hell of a lot of respect.
Yeah.
And if you think that they're like Tinkerbell, they're not.
No.
And I completely ditched that friendship. And we'd been friends for quite a while, and I said, look, I'm sorry, you know, and it's something that I wouldn't have said before. I would have just sat and kept quiet. I used to keep quiet a lot, and I would bitch in private and sit and say, oh, so and so said that, blah 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 blah, you know. And now I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
You know, she took that person to piss out of what I believe in, and I was like, nah, you're not doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I genuinely think this, and I believe this. I am genuinely blessed to know a variety of people with a variety of different beliefs.
Yeah.
I know a rabbi, Mormon, Quaker community, Buddhist community, and I have taken it upon myself to go to their sacred places, because I do genuinely have an interest in all religions. You know, I can walk into a church and genuinely feel the power, the energy of that building.
And you don't burst into flames.
I know. Can you imagine
amazing,
me
isn't
melting?
it?
Melting I was. Melting on the threshold.
I had to go to a funeral
But
with
you
my
know,
dad.
it's
And
that
my ex-husband turned up, and I went, look at me. He was there, and he's sitting there he sat next to me and went, look at you in a church, and you're not on fire.
I know, but it's like I'm like a sponge with everybody's different beliefs. You know, I'm not here to demand someone believe in what I believe in. Like, who the fuck am I to even go down that route? You know, I just love all people's faith, like genuinely now. But it doesn't mean that I believe in it, but I love their belief in it, and I love their passion in that. And I can go to a variety of different places, and I can acknowledge and respect that land or that building, but it doesn't necessarily align with me, if that makes sense. You know, like when I go abroad, I can absolutely walk into a Spanish cathedral and just be in awe of it. Do I agree with a lot of it? No. But do you know what I'm trying to say?
No.
I can absolutely respect how people have faith in a specific thing. But like you mentioned the fae and things, and it's like I've been so quiet about my belief with that, and for a variety of reasons. You know, when I was young, I used to say, you know, very openly to people that, you know, my grandmother introduced me to the fairies, that her grandmother and her mother, etc., introduced her to, and you know, I work with them, and it's through the generations, and I was just laughed at.
Yeah.
And
it's not nice, is it?
No, it's not. And I honestly believe that there is scaremongering about a lot of the fae folklore for a reason.
Yeah.
Because they are so powerful, they are so magical, and it's almost like the folklore has been introduced to keep certain people away, actually.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
we have things, you know, we have the Selkies, the Kelpies, you know, we've got the washerwomen, the Bavanshi, you know. I can't pronounce it, Banai. And, you know, people say, I had to mute myself earlier because I was making a brew and you wouldn't want to hear my kettle. It's really noisy. It's one of these, it's not even a kettle. It's a hot water dispenser. That's what it's marketed. It dispenses hot water. No, it just boils it and makes a bloody big noise. But, when people diss your views on it, you tend to clam up and go, well, I'm not going to tell you what I believe because you're not willing to have a rational discussion about it. And it's things like...
There's a complete difference between having a disagreement or a debate or a sharing of ideas and just being mocked.
And, I mean, I was at the beach recently. Had so much fun. I didn't take any photos. Well, I took photos, but not photos I could share on here. Because they're personal. But we were having fun. And I got asked before we went, why are you putting your socks on inside out? And I went,
Yes.
so we don't get taken?
Yeah.
Who by? The she? Is this your witchy shit? I went, yeah. Okay then. Now, that's my kid's dad. He just accepted what I said. He looked at me like I was stark bonkers, absolutely bonkers. But he just accepted it because he's known me for 25 years. So, he's known me that long. He just goes, yeah, okay then.
My partner's Irish. I met while I lived over there, and he was brought up with Irish folklore and Irish fairy stories. Not in the fairy tale style stories about the thing, and the whole
stories that would keep you up at night.
Yeah, and just warnings. Things like putting milk out on the. We don't do it. He doesn't believe in that necessarily, but his grandma always just put milk and bread out on the doorstep and things like that.
Yeah.
But she also used to have it say like because the big thing in Ireland. I don't know. Maybe it applies to something in Welsh and Scottish folklore since a lot of them are strung together or come from the same root, of course.
Yeah.
But the banshee in particular, that if you see a comb on the ground, not to touch it because it's a trap.
Yeah.
From the banshee, and I'm a magpie. If I see something shiny on the floor, the first thing I do is stop and pick it up, and it drives them absolutely mad.
So you're part.
Yeah, but there was
You're part magpie then.
Yeah, when we first moved over here from Ireland, it was due to the housing crisis in Ireland. It's atrocious at the moment. Everything's so expensive, and with my parents' health, I wanted to come close. But we lived with my mother for a while, and they have a big dog, and we used to walk them on night time just to get out of the house because I wasn't used to living with my parents, and we get on very, very well when I don't live with them. But when I live with them, it can get tense because I'm an adult. You know how things are.
Yep.
And
your own way of doing things. I was the same when I had to stay with my parents with my kids for a while, and it's hard when you've got your own way of doing things and you're an adult and you're back living with your parents and you're like, oh my god, this isn't the way I do things. And my mum is very, 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 very OCD, and I do things very differently in my house to what she does. So I really wasn't allowed to do anything.
Yeah, I was the same. So we used to have to get out of the house. And so we take the dog for a walk at night, and it was winter at the time, so it was quite dark. And there was a park nearby with some wooded areas around, because the town that they live in is one of the new towns that are all across England, where it was like loads of little villages built in a town, but with like lots of greenery between them. And one night we were out, and controversial opinion, because I know a lot of people think they're absolutely vile, but I love the candy Parma violets.
You're not the only person that likes Parma violets.
I absolutely love them. They're like one of my favorite things. And we're out walking, and I hadn't had them in for ages, and I'd been looking for some, and they're everywhere now. But for a while there, they just weren't. And I'd been looking for them everywhere. And we were walking along with the dog, and there was a full packet, untouched, of the giant Parma violets just on the pathway in front of us in the middle of the woods. And I went, ooh! I went to grab them because they were like fully wrapped up, and it was dry even though it was cold. And my boyfriend just grabbed my arm and went, what are you doing? And I was like, Parma violets. Like, if they're all right, I'm going to take them and check out that they're okay before I eat them. He went, don't pick them up. And I was like, well, I can at
Hi,
least.
7 lemons. Yeah.
And he was like, it's clearly something trying to get your attention. Just ignore it. I was like,
I mean, it could have just been you were craving them and the universe provided.
could have been, or it could have been a trap.
It could have been. Now, see, that would be me. If somebody said, don't pick that up, I would have picked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
In
mean?
fairness, it was food on the ground, so it didn't take much convincing to leave it behind. But generally, I would have picked
We've got
everything
things like, people say things like, you know, if you see a set of stairs and they lead to nowhere, don't go up them.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen Zaf's videos. She went up them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go up them as
I
well.
do that.
I
would do that in a heartbeat.
I'm a bit too curious and a bit too inquisitive for my own good. One day I'm going to disappear and no one's going to know where I'm gone, and I'm going to regret everything I've ever decided to get there, wherever I am. But I feel like I'm going to end up somewhere that I shouldn't be.
I live within sight. I can see it from my bedroom window of a fairy hill, for want of a better word.
Beautiful.
Right? Now, at the top is the entrance. And I said to my kid's dad, I need to go to the top of the hill. And he was like, okay. I was like, but I can't walk up there because I have dodgy hips. And he went, you do know you can take the car up? And I went, okay, you can drive. And he kind of looked at me and he went, why am I taking you up? I went, because then if I disappear, it's your fault. And he was like, oh, thanks very much. And I went, no, but seriously, if I disappear, I'm not going to disappear if you're with me. And he went, okay. But unfortunately, there was a fire there not that long ago.
Oh.
Oh no.
So some of the trees got destroyed.
Oh no.
We think it was just kids mucking about. There was like 3 fire engines. And so my plan now is to get some berries off certain trees and grow baby trees. And when they're established, sort of like next year, take them up and plant them so that we can replace some of the trees that have been lost.
Oh, I love
Absolutely.
that.
I also want some trees for myself because I'm a witch and I want these trees so that I can get the berries off them and I can look after them. And
I just remembered something that from
you want to
something-
grow witches' trees because
Yeah.
that's what we call them here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I come from, the rowan tree. My mother's like, that's the witch's tree.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you're damn right it is.
I've
But
just
just
remembered
command
something
the
from when I was.
space.
Hmm?
You know, if you're going anywhere and you're worried and you're like, oh, I don't know, you're already, in a way, this is how I work anyway, just me, my opinion. But if you're going into any building, any land or whatever, and going, oh, I don't know, you're already setting the boundary of, I'm not sure
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like for me, how I work, like with certain energies, which I won't go into, or land, whatever, I will always set my boundaries. I will always say, you do not have consent to follow me. You do not have consent to attach to me. Because we're earthbound, they're in the magical or spiritual realm, we have more power than they ever will.
When
That's
I
my
go
belief anyway.
to that place, because it is a cemetery,
Yeah.
it is now a cemetery, and my grandparents are there. So I go there to visit my grandparents, and I always have an offering for the guardian at the gate, an offering for my grandparents, and an offering for the spirits, the she that live there. There's always an offering for them. And it's very clear. It's a no, you can't come with me. You remain here. This is your home. And I'm very much one that, when I'm walking from the gate to my grandparents and back again, if I see a plot that looks maybe a wee bit tatty, I tidy up. There was one day I took the kids and the kids wanted to take little not fresh flowers. They wanted to take artificial flowers with them. And they had me spend a fortune. And it was so that they could find plots that didn't have flowers.
Oh, I love that.
And they were leaving flowers on random plots that were some of them were super old, you know. And we ended up in a section, and it was only after about 10 minutes there that I realised we were in the baby section. And we found some quite old plots, you know, and my kids were like leaving little flowers and their own little offerings. And as we were going out, my oldest turned round and went, "No, you can't come with us.
Oh,
This is where you stay."
that's beautiful. I feel emotional with that.
Yeah, it was. I came out and I kind of sat in my car. Hi, Liz. I kind of sat in my car and went, you know, the kids were in the back of the car and they were like, "Are you all right, Mum?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just really proud of you guys."
Yeah.
You know, and that was before I fully embraced before I even fully embraced who I was.
Yeah, I can't remember this because I was very, very small, but my siblings are much, much older than me. And my sister's boyfriend, when she was at school, suffered an accident and unalived. Bless.
Oh,
But for a while, like every weekend, she wanted to go and visit the grave. Which fair, understandable, especially for a teenage girl.
mhm.
And I was very, very, very small. She's 10 years older than me. She was only about 15. So I would have been about five, maybe four or five. And my parents would bring me along, but bring her there every weekend for a few months. She eventually, you know, started to heal and move on a bit.
Yeah.
They used to go, and I remember being in graveyards. I don't remember much about it, but I always remember being on my own. And I asked my mum once, like, why do I remember being on my own in grave? She went, "Oh, you'd always disappear." I was like, what? We'd take you there and we'd go to see the grave, and then I'd turn my back for 1 second and you'd be gone.
Yeah.
And she said she'd always find me, different ones, sat on graves, chatting away,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just talking, as if I was making friends with someone. And I was like, that's weird. And she was like, "Yeah, we thought it was a bit strange too, but we tried not to worry you or worry about it really, because it never seemed to affect you much." I was just like, "Yeah, she said I'd sat right on the grave, not next to it, like on it, facing the headstone often, just chatting away as if there was someone else sat in front of me, just having full conversations with thin air." And then as I grew up, I started seeing things, as I've said before. So I think that's probably why I believe in so much, is because I believe that if I believe in what I've seen, then I have to believe in everything else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, my firstborn did that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try the TikTok guidelines. In a WW2
Yeah.
camp, in one of those camp places,
Yeah.
right? And we visited that camp.
Yeah.
We took my parents to visit because they were visiting us because of the job that, you know, the husband was doing. So we went there to visit, and my kids, my youngest was still in the pram, was only a few months old, 6 months old. And this one was like, da, 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 da. Got to one certain bit, sat on the floor, chatting away, stopping as if she was, you know, as if the bairn was listening for an answer,
Yeah.
and then chatting away. Now, by this point, we'd lived in that country, and my firstborn was fluent in the language. And I speak that language conversationally, as does their dad. But this child was completely fluent and was sitting there having a conversation in German. And we were like, okay. And we were like, right, come on, it's time to go home now. And the bairn gets up, goes, takes my mum's hand and says, "But I don't want to leave. I want to stay and play with the children."
Oh my God.
This was a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
We were like, well, you can't. You just, and maybe me went, you can't. You'll just have to tell them you'll come back another day. Okay, mummy, that was fine. We get home. We think nothing of this until we got the map out where we'd been and where my child had sat down and had a conversation was where the children were housed.
Oh my God.
And my mother freaked out. She's not the only one, because at that point in time, I didn't really understand what I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, bearing in mind, you know, the kid's dad has a protection charm that I gave him when we first got together. And he still has this 25 years later.
Oh.
I didn't realise then that what I was doing was witchcraft, because I didn't fully understand it. And I'd always had an interest, even as a child, I always had an interest, but I didn't realise that it was a protection charm he had. And when he would go on operations, I would, you know, he'd leave the house, I'd light a candle. I didn't realise I was doing candle magic at the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, for us to be in a place like that has so much residual spiritual memory and no doubt spirits that walk the land there still, for my 3-year-old to pick that up, it was like, whoa. You know,
It's
my
something
mother
that does run in families, though. Like,
yeah,
my nephew, when he's very, very small, he's only just learned to talk. And you know how children are, they form sentences using words that vaguely match what they mean because they don't know all the proper words. And it was, can you remember when Cilla Black's husband died? A long time ago now.
yeah,
It was a big deal because they were like that couple in show business that everyone was like, it's a love for the ages kind of thing.
yes,
It was Bobby, wasn't it? I think his name was.
yeah, Bobby, yeah.
So yeah, Bobby had died, and he was only maybe 2 or 3, and I mean, there's always a chance of things like, oh, maybe you saw it on the news or something, but like it wasn't something that was ever really going to be talked about whenever he was awake or about to watch television.
Yeah.
And he'd come round, and I was there, and my mum was there, and my sister was there. And,
thanks, Ray. Love you, sweetheart.
And bye, Rach.
Sleep well, darling.
Yeah. But the newspaper was out, and there was a big double page spread of the funeral. And he was sat there looking at it, and we were just chatting, and I was like, what are you looking at? And he pointed at there was a photo of her up at the top left and a photo of him on the top right, and all these facts, you know how like the tabloids would do with something like this, like they met on this date, blah 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 blah,
Passed away on this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the big centre picture was the funeral procession with the box. I don't know how sensitive certain words are. I've already said one of them, and I didn't realise, but I'm trying not to use them. They're carrying him through the streets. And I was like, what's the matter? And he pointed at Scylla, and he went, the mammy, using kids' words. The mammy's really sad. And then he pointed at Bobby, because the daddy has died. And he's in there, and he's going away now, and pointed at the coffin. And we all just went silent. And I was like, oh.
Kids are very attuned to this kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's like, that is so strange that he picked up. Maybe he just picked up on it from maybe some collection of things he picked up from like kids' TV and storybooks, and maybe bits of the news that had been on the background had kind of filtered through. But it was so eerie. Oh,
it really is. And on that happy note, I think I'm going to boost the live, because I am sitting. I've drunk coffee, so I'm starting to get tired, sleepy. Yeah. But we'll be back live. Don't worry.
That's fine. I have to go. I've been looking at the clock for the past half an hour, thinking I should go.
I know. I've been going. I should boost, but I'm enjoying the conversation. But I should boost because it's getting late, and I'm up at 6:30 in the morning. Even though I work from home, I'm up at 6:30 in the morning.
Well, you rest well.
You too, my darling, and we will see you.
Been a pleasure.
I'll see you soon, Liz. All right, darling. Love you. And thank you very much for coming in.
Oh, it's been a pleasure as always.
And we'll see you all soon.
Thank you for hosting. Goodbye.
Very much. Night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.